As a self-proclaimed gamer, I really want to focus a lot this year on playing games that I haven't played before, or replaying games that I haven't played in quite a while. So within this past month, I've actually played 5 games so far, and beaten them. Well, 1 almost beaten, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. And I'm very excited to talk about them. 2 of which are games that I actually have played before, but haven't played in quite a while. But then the other 3 are actually games that I had never played before. So I really want to make this a theme this year, about talking about games that I haven't really played much before, and trying them this year. You know, seeing if maybe you guys have played these games before, or maybe if this video will convince you to actually go out and play these games. Hopefully you guys will like this video. I want to make this a kind of somewhat regular thing every few months when I beat a handful of games. Just report back to you guys on what games I've played. So if you enjoy it, definitely do drop a like and subscribe down below, and of course hit that notification bell. All of that would truly mean the world and show me that this is the kind of content that you would like to see. So, without any further ado, let's get into the first game. The first game I beat this year is actually a childhood classic of mine. I played this game actually on the channel for Zak Plays about 3 years ago, maybe, you know, and some people watched it and enjoyed me playing it. I actually don't even know if I beat the game on stream. I don't know if I played the whole entire game. I don't think I did. But nevertheless, that game is Mario Golf Advance Tour. This game is so much fun. Like, many people know the Mario sports games from the console entries being these arcadey, like, you know, sports games. Mario Golf Advance Tour on the GBA is, for the most part, no different. You can play as Mario and the whole crew of characters on these golf courses and, you know, play golf to your heart's content. But what this game has that most of the other Mario Golf games don't is a fully fleshed out single player mode where you take control of one of 2 characters, being Neil or Ella, and you basically climb the ranks of, you know, golfers in this, you know, little golf club, and you work your way up to face against Mario and friends in the Mushroom Kingdom, and I honestly think it's a really cool story. Now, the story mode is usually, it's kind of like a mixed reception with people. Some people really like it, you know, it just gives the single player a little more depth because of the fact that multiplayer on the GBA isn't the most fleshed out. But then there are other people who are like, oh, who are these nobody, you know, anime NPCs? I just want to play as Mario and crew. Well, you can play as Mario and crew from the beginning, no problem. The game isn't stopping you doing that. The single player mode is just there if you want that extra bit of substance within the game, and I think it does a really good job of it. The single player mode is very fun. You know, you compete against Mario and the crew at the end as the finale, and it's just a whole lot of fun. I remember when I was a kid, when I had played and beaten this game, I remember it being super easy, until you got up to, like, Kid, at least, you know, who is the final match play character in this game. And when I replayed it, I actually realized the game is actually quite technical. You really do need to plan and account for wind and altitude, you know, and if there's a slope on the green, and, like, there's a lot of things that you do have to accommodate for when you're playing. And, you know, I don't know, I think it is, for a GBA game, very in-depth, and it's just a great time. It's such a shame that Mario Golf Super Rush's story mode, honestly, in my opinion, pales compared to this. So, spoiler alert, I actually do plan on playing Mario Tennis Power Tour soon and playing through that game story mode again, because that one's been even longer than this game, so I'm very excited to go and try that one out again. But if you have a GBA, or if you have an emulator, I do recommend checking this one out. Who knows, maybe Nintendo will bring it to NSO sometime soon. This next game is another one that I've actually played before, but it had been actually a longer time since I played that one. Probably close to 10-ish years, back when this game first launched. I do think I remember trying to stream it once. I streamed like maybe an hour of it, but then I didn't continue the playthrough because the stream didn't do well. So, you know, this is my chance to talk about it. That's Dead Rising 3. For those of you who do not know, Dead Rising is a series where you play a survivor, and you're going through a story as this person who can make all these weird combo weapons, and the point is to kill lots of zombies. It's all about the murders, baby, to gain your PP, yes, that's what it's called, and upgrade your skills, like your health bar and what you can do. And Dead Rising 3 has always been my favorite because out of the 3 main ones, I have not played off the record. You know, the second game's like spin-off title, whatever. Haven't played that one. But of the 3 main titles, this one to me always felt the most polished, and going back to it, I completely agree. And when I replayed it, I actually did most of the content. I saved most of the survivors. I'm pretty certain I did all of the psycho missions. So it really, I really wanted to go in depth with this game, because when I played it probably about 10 years ago, I mainly just played through the story and just kind of beat it and whatnot. But replaying it, I had a really good time, especially because, because I went for all the stuff I didn't before. There was new content there and stuff that I didn't see before. So it was very exciting. It was a very fresh take on this game because, again, like I said, I hadn't played this game in probably nearly a decade. So it was really fun. The only complaint being is that it is a little easy. I mean, now that I'm an adult, and especially with how the game's combo weapon system works, where you can basically craft the combo weapons in the locker at any point, so it really, getting weapons and things to attack with was never really an issue. I still really enjoyed myself. It felt very casual, which I enjoyed, and obviously I played on the normal mode, so it was just really, really fun. And if you are a fan of A, the Dead Rising games, but B, zombie games, like zombies were all the craze in the 2010s, but this game really does it right in my opinion. Next up is a game I actually played on the Steam Deck. Now, honestly, most of these games I played on the Steam Deck, but I don't have a physical copy of this one because I own it on Steam. So that game is Telltale's The Expanse. Now, this is actually my first time playing a Telltale game. I never touched a Telltale game before. I have, Telltale Batman, but I never touched them before. Mostly because I don't care about a lot of the existing properties that Telltale has done, like Batman or The Walking Dead or Back to the Future. I haven't really cared a lot about the stuff they've done. But with Telltale's The Expanse, it was about a series that I wasn't familiar with, so I was a little more intrigued to check it out. And honestly, you guys, if you want a small, bite-sized experience that really shows you what Telltale games are all about, I actually really do recommend The Expanse. It was a fun little time where, you played as this character named Karina Drummer, and a lot of your decisions, it's a Telltale game, right? It's a narrative game where your choices matter, a lot of it is cinematic, but there is, a bit of gameplay. And one thing that I really liked about the gameplay of this game is that it was pretty unique because of the fact that it was in space. It did mess a lot with gravity, and it was really cool. You can walk on walls, you can float and do all this really cool stuff. I don't know, I just really liked how this game felt compared to a lot of these narrative games because it felt unique and different to control. My one main issue with the game is that it is really short. And when I say short, I mean really short. You're only going to play this game for a few hours, maybe 4 to 5 hours most. I think that's how much I ended up, playing the game. There was a bonus episode that I actually, admittingly, haven't tried yet. But nevertheless, it is a really fun game. If you guys want to dabble into some of these narrative games that I always talk so highly about, but don't really know where to begin, I actually do think this is a great beginner's game because it has a little more gameplay. It is very short, so it is easy to get through, and it gives you the main gist of what narrative games are all about. So I really do recommend this one. I would say, though, wait for it to go on sale, just because if you end up not enjoying it, it won't be like you wasted a bunch of money for an experience that was really short that you didn't enjoy. Next up, this is a game that I remember trying a little bit when I was younger, but I did not really play it when I was younger. And this is the one game in here that I really didn't beat. This is more of a DNF, aka did not finish. But I did get far enough into it to where I feel like I can at least give it a shout out. and that is Sonic Adventure 2 Battle for the Nintendo GameCube. Now, I actually did a whole podcast episode, bang, over on the Mid-Byte Hour podcast, the podcast that Writers DX, Davies, and myself run. If you haven't checked it out yet, go and do so. Cough, cough, Luigi's Mansion's coming up soon. Anyways, I played this game for the podcast, to tell Writers and Dave what I think, because they want me to try more Sonic games. And I'll be honest, I really did not care for this one that much. I mean, the story, admittingly, I kind of blazed through it. I didn't really pay too much attention to the cutscenes. Not to mention, I played it kind of spread out over a few weeks. So, it wasn't like I was really invested in the story or the characters. But the gameplay was pretty repetitive. Like, each character, there are 6 playable characters in total, like Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Eggman, Shadow, and Rouge, and they all kind of have the same gameplay loop, with Sonic and Shadow kind of being the running ones, Tails and Eggman being the mech ones, and then Rouge and Knuckles being the, the treasure hunting ones, which I really, really hated. I won't go too much into it because I really want you guys to watch the podcast if you want my full view on this game, but to give you guys a general idea of how I felt, I did not care for it that much. It really wasn't my cup of tea. If a lot of people really highly praise these games, and I thought, as someone who wasn't a big Sonic fan, maybe these would be the games, this and Adventure 1 would be the games to get me into Sonic, but neither of which impressed me. Sonic Adventure 1 I did beat last year, and again, we did another episode on that on the Mid-Byte Hour, so go and check all of that out. But Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, did not really care for. Lastly, but surely not least, another game I've been playing recently is actually one that a lot of people might be shocked that I haven't played it, because I like narrative games, because I like zombie games, because I like single player experiences, because I like games that aren't too long. So I really, it's because I never had a PlayStation, so let me just get right into it. It is The Last of Us. I played The Last of Us on stream on my Twitch channel. If you haven't checked out my Twitch channel, definitely go and do so. Obviously, I stream a lot over there. And I had a lot of fun with this one. I had some issues with, the weapon swapping system and, how you switch between your weapons, and some things that felt a little clunky. But overall, narratively and story-wise, freaking amazing. I literally cried within the first 10 minutes of the game, which is a record. And just overall, the way the game was paced, the way all the characters were introduced, it was just a really solid game, really well built. I really liked, and because I didn't really watch much of this game, I wasn't sure what the gameplay would be like. I wasn't sure if it would be more action, if it would be a little more of the narrative stuff, if it would be, a first person. I didn't know what it would be. But I realized that it's actually more stealth-based, which is the genre I least expected, and I actually really liked it. It made me feel clever whenever I solved a puzzle. It made me feel clever whenever I juked enemies. The game is pretty difficult, though. I had a hard time with this one. I played on normal mode. It's not, gonna make you rip your hair out or anything, but it's definitely going to get you frustrated, especially in the second half of the game, with how difficult it can get, especially because a lot of the enemies are one-hit kills, one hit and you're dead. So, it is a hard one, but really, really worth it for the story, for everything this game has. So, that's The Last of Us. I am actually starting The Last of Us 2 this week. I mean, by the time this video's out, I'll either already be playing it or maybe already beat it. But nevertheless, go and check out the Twitch channel if you want to see me play more games, because I'm definitely going to be playing a lot of games on there, and this one was just the latest one that I played on there. So there you have it, guys. Those are the games I've been playing recently. As you see, a decent variety. One thing, I mentioned this last week in the, in the game collection overview video. One thing I feel like people don't really know about me is that I really like a variety of games. I mean, just with the 5 that I've played alone, with the Expanse being a narrative game, with this being a pixelated RPG golf game, with this being a wacky survival horror game, with this being a stealthy survival horror game, and with this being a mid-Sonic game. Please don't kill me, Sonic fans, I'm just joking. Like, I really play a variety of games, and when people come here, they mostly think of me for Luigi's Mansion, or SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, or whatever. And I want people to see my gaming taste and see what I like. And, you know, whenever I try new games, whenever I play new games I haven't played before, I want you guys to hear what I have to say about different things. So I hope that this series resonates with people, and I hope that maybe there was a game here that you thought looked interesting, that you might give a shot. All of these you can play on the Steam Deck. I mean, I know The Last of Us, like, the Steam port is apparently pretty meh, but like the rest of these, you can easily play on the Steam Deck. I played all 3 of these on the Steam Deck and the Expanse. So, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. All of that stuff down below. Hit that notification bell so that you're notified of when I upload videos. And of course, check out the merch store. There's some merch up on there for you to check out. And until next time, you guys, I'll see you all in the next video.